This is Zohaib Ahmed Khan, and today's topic will be thermal conversion technologies in solid waste management. So let's begin. Thermal conversion process basically means thermal means heat. So we are decomposing our solid waste with the help of burning process, with the help of heating process. So it's a leading mechanism to convert the biomass energy, that is energy in the solid waste, into another chemical energy. So thermal conversion uses heat with or without oxygen. It might use oxygen, it might not use oxygen. In case of incineration, oxygen is utilized, but in case of pyrolysis, oxygen is not utilized. So that is why the term with or without oxygen has been used. Further, we need to understand why this is important, why WTE is important. WTE stands here for waste to energy conversions. Waste to energy conversion is important because India produces 66 million tons of waste every year, which is equivalent to 66 crore tons of waste every year. So disposing of this such amount of waste in a country like India, where land is limited, area is limited, is very difficult. So, and proper management of landfills is not feasible in this process. Therefore, WTE conversion is very important. We have discussed in the earlier lectures regarding composting that we find that some organic matter has to be composed so that it can be used as a soil enrichment. But since this waste is 66 million tons, which is a huge quantity, so the processes waste to energy conversions comes into picture, because most waste that are generated find their way into land and water bodies, and they cause severe water pollution. Some causes air pollution as well, like methane gas and carbon dioxide. We have seen landfills which have enough amount of waste that pose a problem to the public health as well. Therefore, problems caused by solid and liquid wastes can be significantly minimized through the adoption of these technologies such as incineration and pyrolysis and gasification. So that is why this comes into picture, that we have to utilize the energy which is contained in the solid waste into some useful form, such as into some useful renewable energy. Moving on, so now we can conclude the objectives of our thermal process. Since we are using heat to decompose the organic matters, therefore there is substantial destruction of organic components of the waste, and yes, reduction in the volume of solid waste, because it is seen that in incineration process 90 to 95% reduction can be done through the incineration process, and the byproducts after the conversion of biomass energy solid waste, so we get some byproducts also, which are solid or gaseous products, and yes, definitely we get some energy as well, such as in the form of electrical energy in incineration process, that will be discussed later on. So technologies of generation of energy from waste. Basically, we have four technologies to generate energy from the solid waste. Number one is a thermal conversion. The process involves thermal degradation of waste under high temperature. This major technological option under this category is incineration. In incineration, we are using any solid waste irrespective of whether the solid waste is biodegradable or non-biodegradable. We can incinerate, we can heat the solid waste at very high temperatures to get the desired products. Similarly, in thermochemical conversions, it entails high temperature, but it has some limitations, such as it can be used with organic non-biodegradable material and low moisture content. If moisture content is very high, this technology does not work. Therefore, main technological options under this category are pyrolysis and gasification. Third is biochemical conversion. We have discussed in the previous lectures about composting process. So biochemical conversion is nothing but composting, basically enzymatic decomposition of organic matter by microbial action to produce methane gas and alcohol. We have seen that when we make a compost pile, and with the help of proper turning, mixing and providing water to the compost pile, it decomposes within a certain period of time, and it decomposes into a compost, which helps in soil enrichment. Fourth is the electrochemical conversion. Electrochemical conversion is done with the help of microbial fuel cells. These cells actually converts chemical energy into electrical energy with the help of microorganisms. This will not be discussed in this lecture, and this is not in the course as well. So thermal conversion technologies are basically, we have to go through incineration, gasification and pyrolysis, but we'll not go through the details about these processes. We'll just have a brief introduction in this lecture. In the upcoming lectures, we'll be discussing about in detail the incineration process and in detail about the gasification and pyrolysis process. So let me just give you a brief similarities and differences between these processes. Incineration, gasification and pyrolysis can be simply described as a process where organic matter is decomposed by burning or heating the waste. The major difference between these processes relating to operating temperatures and the products that you obtain from each due to the operating temperatures at which the waste is burned. While it is seen that incineration and gasification technologies are similar in principle, the energy product from incineration is high temperature heat, whereas combustible gas is the main energy product from gasification. So we have seen that there are some differences and there are some similarities, and the conversion product is also somewhat different. So moving on to incineration. Basically, incineration involves the combustion of organic materials into incinerators, bottom ash, flue gases and heat that is used to generate electricity. And it is seen that the steam that is generated during the incineration process can be used to drive a turbine, which in turn makes electricity. So it is a very good process for making electricity, and the main advantage of incineration is that it helps in volume reduction. Therefore it is called a landfill reduction method, because incineration reduces the volume up to 95%. If you have 100 kilograms of solid waste, if you incinerate that solid waste, it becomes 5 kg. So it reduces the volume up to 95%. Therefore it is a very good process in terms of reducing the volume, but it has disadvantages such as it emits carbon dioxide gas, which is not good for the environment. So since everything has pros and cons, incineration has these advantages and disadvantages as well. Gasification of biomass takes place in a restricted supply of oxygen and occurs through initial devolatilization of the biomass, combustion of the volatile material and char. Char is basically something that is left leaving the blackened surface, and further reduction to produce a fuel gas which is rich in carbon monoxide and hydrogen, also known as syngas, SYNC, and it is known as synthetic natural gases, which is actually used as a fuel. So this combustible gas is a lower calorific value, meaning that the energy obtained from this is somewhat lower, but it can be still used as a fuel for boilers, for engines, and for potentially combustion turbines. So next, let's move on to pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is thermal destruction of biomass in the absence of air or oxygen to produce syngas and charcoal. Syngases are synthetic gases. Basically, it's a combination of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Fast pyrolysis for liquid fuel production is currently of particular interest because liquid fuel can be easily stored and transported, and at lower cost than solid biomass. Further, the more research and development is going on in this process, and there has to be more development which has to be done in this process. Basically, incineration and gasification. Incineration is mostly used in our country. In India, around 12 incineration plants are there, out of which 4 are functional right now. So the pyrolysis has to be implemented in some developing nations as well. So moving on, we can have a comparison. It's a very informative chart regarding the parameters incineration, pyrolysis and gasification. As you can see, in incineration, it is full oxidative combustion. It is combusting, it is burning the material, and in gasification we have partial oxidation. Further, you can see the operating temperatures. The temperatures vary. In incineration, it is very high temperature. In pyrolysis, the temperature is not very high. In terms of oxygen, we have sufficient amount of oxygen in incineration. Pyrolysis, we do not have any oxygen. In gasification, we have some restricted supply of oxygen or controlled amount of oxygen. Reaction products also are not similar. Bottom ash, fly ash in incineration, and pyrolysis gases in pyrolysis, and syn gases, that is SYNC, SYN, synthetic gases. It is also known as SNG, synthetic natural gases, which are used as fuel after in the gasification process. And in incineration, the products are basically carbon dioxide, water, oxygen, nitrogen. Since carbon dioxide is emitted, a large amount of carbon dioxide is emitted from incineration process, it is not considered environmental friendly, but everything has benefits and disadvantages and advantages. Pre-treatment basically pre-treatment means separating of the separation of particles before applying any technology, any thermal processes. We have to separate the particles, we have to separate the waste. In incineration, since any solid waste, be it biodegradable, non-biodegradable, is allowed, therefore no pre-treatment is done in the incineration process. In pyrolysis, yes, incineration is done, organic fraction from the solid waste is taken out. Similarly in gasification also. So we have seen this similar we have seen the chart, and we can now compare easily about each of the processes. I have just given a brief introduction. In coming classes, we will be in upcoming lectures, we will be discussing in detail about incineration processes, pyrolysis and gasification. Thank you everyone.